Hey, welcome to UFO Buster Radio, episode number 74. And I just finished announcing the 2017 top contender for the rubber dickies. Actually, I said that kind of backwards. God damn it, I can't get this shit right. The 2017 rubber dickies top contenders. The two individuals that won for this year, handpicked by me, but next year you guys will be able to vote on who those will be. But right now, these guys are part of UBR Truth Seekers, the Facebook group, and that's where I posted the information, and it might be tied to my profile in some way or another. But here's where the conspiracies come in, and let me tell you something. Yesterday, this announcement was supposed to go on Facebook Live, and for some reason, when I got home, I had zero internet connection. Now, if it was just something where I could just reset, if I could just reset that Wi-Fi or reset the modem, then great. Well, as a matter of fact, I tried to do that and I got zero. Finally, I decided to take my handy-dandy phone and go to the website for the service provider. And would you not believe that the entire area had an outage yesterday? This is where conspiracy theories come in. I mean, here I am. I've been announcing this day for like 2 weeks now. And on the day that I go to announce these two individuals winning this coveted award, the internet goes down for the entire area. This is what gives birth to Big Balls, Scott C. Waring, and his crew, and the rest of the people that come up with these crazy conspiracies, because I for damn sure don't understand how this could happen. But today we had a good signal, we had internet, and I posted that information as far as who the two winners are. Sometime before Christmas, I'll post it up on UFO Buster Radio so that everyone can take a look at it, take a look at these little awards, which are pretty cool, I gotta say. But we still have one more award left to give, and that is for this year's #1 Rubber Dicker of the Year. This is the person that has given us the biggest line of bullshit when it comes to ufology this year, hoaxing us and giving us all kind of nonsense. Can you guys still have 8 more days to go on to UFO Buster Radio and select your 3 favorite rubber dickers for this year? Submit your vote. Can make a difference. I don't want to hear you guys saying that maybe that guy shouldn't have won, or that person or that group, if you didn't even vote. So go get on in there, put your happy face on, get your trigger finger going, and vote for that 2017 Rubber Dicker of the Year. Like I said, 8 days to go. You're going to miss out on it. And you won't have no one else to blame but yourself. Plus, you want to know that whatever craziness comes out of this person receiving the award, I mean, who knows what's going to happen when they get it? Whatever happens, you want to know that you contributed to it and you had something to do with it. I know I'm going to be as happy as can be if any of them decide to rebuttal what they've earned. All right, so for today, we are fortunate to have 2 news stories as usual. And the first one is great because it involves one of the greatest rubber dickers of all time, and it is Dr. Steven Greer. But it's not him directly, it's what he teaches. So the article is "Shock Claim I Summoned Aliens Using Experts Technique Before Being Hounded by a UFO." So the expert they're talking about is Steven Greer. What they're referring to as far as their technique, we've seen it before, the so-called Contact 5 protocol. We've seen the flares being dropped on that infamous video when he has a group of people sitting at a beach, claiming that he's brought ET in for them to see. Crackpot, rubber dicker, and emergency room doctor Steven Greer. So this is what's pretty much going down. Apparently in Long Island, Because if you're from there, you don't say Long Island, you say Long Island. In Long Island, this particular individual was out and about. They were walking around, and some reason they decided that they're going to try Steven Greer's little protocol. I mean, it takes all kinds of rubber dickers these days. So according to the witness report, which was submitted to MUFON, the individual says, I was walking with a companion from my home in Long Island City on 24th Street. He says he saw a light that was remaining stationary over that location, but it changed color from purple to red. And he says that he made it do that because he used the Contact 5 protocol and pleaded with the alien entity to change colors. And so it turned to red from purple at his request. He says a similar purple light was hovering above a supermarket strip plaza on the south side. And immediately, when he made contact with it, it began to follow himself or herself and the companion, and continued until they arrived at Home Depot. For you guys who are not in the U.S., Home Depot is it's a place where you buy shit to fix your house. So while they were there, they decided, let's go and look around, buy some shit, fix this, fix that. And then when they left, they apparently were going to go to Popeyes. And again, for those who are not in the U.S., Popeyes is a famous fried chicken place. So after the weed that they smoked before they got to Home Depot, that was laced with PCP, they decided that they were going to have some Popeyes. So they went to Popeyes in some place called the Food Bazaar. And on the way back, they seem to have been joined by another so-called 4.24 alien. He doesn't say what color it was, but at this point in the story, it just doesn't matter to me. Because why? First of all, you're calling down ET for what reason? All it did was follow you from Home Depot to Popeyes to the Food Bazaar, and you didn't share shit with them. But apparently this guy's got not only big balls, but a big head. Because they really do believe that they summoned an ET. To really add insult to injury for all of you out there who are probably laughing your asses off at how crazy this report is, Mr. Big Balls himself, Scott C. Waring, chimed in on this. Oh, Scotty says, do I believe the eyewitness? Yes, of course. I had to pause for a second there because, he goes from having just simple pareidolia to just having some crazy things going on in his life. It is like I say all the time, you cannot write this stuff, and, I don't know if anyone that reports anything like this to MUFON should even feel secure and vindicated by having someone like Scott C. Waring saying that they believe in what the hell they said. These guys are probably sober now. They're not high or anything like that, and they're wondering why they even posted that to MUFON. That's just my theory. The article is linked in the description. Shit, I'm saying everything backwards today. The link for the description. Okay, here we go. I think it's time to retire. The link to the article is in the description. So if you guys want to click on this thing and read the rest of it, you'll be pretty much happy to know that there is a video linked in the article of Steven Greer talking about his protocol. How he calls those little fuckers down. And that's all you see because he doesn't really have any contact except for when his friend had that heart surgery done while he was sitting there during the protocol. That's a different story from a few weeks ago. But in the article, you're also going to hear from Scott Brando. He's a guy that, is busting UFO stories. So he came up with something that he researched that happened in that same area about 2 years ago. It's pretty fascinating. I tried to get the picture they used for what he was talking about, but I couldn't download it. Sorry, I couldn't do it. But check it out because, like I said, the article is a lot longer and the information on here I think is pretty cool. And for some reason, this freaking website decided to have this back and forth between the yay and the nay, which is, I think, is cool in a way. But it kind of shows to you which are the biggest big mouths that end up on these type of articles when it comes to current day ufology. And all you can do is shake your head and wonder what the hell is going on.
Coming to you from the hills of Texas right here, UFO Buster Radio is now on the air. You can visit Manny and Big O at UFOBusterRadio.com. That's right, this is Bubba Doohickey saying, boys, squeal like a pig. Oink, oink, oink.
Okay, for this next story, you guys in the UK are going to love this one. And you know what? As a matter of fact, anyone that's into ufology, you're going to love this one. And I think I talked about this particular incident on the last episode, just mentioned it. But Rendlesham, the incident from 1980, is back in this article here. This is crazy. The article says, Alien Bombshell, I heard U.S. airmen speak of little people after military base UFO case. Apparently, a new witness has come forward and says that he heard a couple of the U.S. military Air Force peeps speaking about the incident at Rendlesham back in 1980. The individual is 62 years old, and unfortunately, he wanted to remain anonymous, so we don't know who the hell he is or, you know, what exactly was his connection to these people, if at all. But we do know that he states that he heard these individuals talking about the incident. And apparently it was just days after it occurred out in Rendlesham. So the 62-year-old says that he heard the individuals talk about a triangular-shaped craft that landed in the neighboring woods in the early hours of December 26 of 1980, and then returning over 2 nights later. The man says that he was working in the warehouse of a newspaper and magazine company in the town of Felixstowe. He says that he was at a bar for the Hotel de Marlborough. According to the article, the man said that he knew a couple of the U.S. Air Force men by name, and he actually, overheard them occasionally talking about things, and he apparently heard this conversation one day. He says he looked over at them occasionally and could see that they are having a serious discussion over something. He says one airman seemed to be particularly agitated because, he almost got probed. He's over there in the UK. He's far away from home, and he almost got abducted. He says that the nosy 62-year-old apparently edged over towards them and trying to find out exactly what the hell they were talking about. And he says that the airman was definitely agitated and talked about the light and the little people. I think it's fascinating that so many years after the Rendlesham forest, people are still coming forward as new witnesses. The guy was at a bar. And why is it we can't have any of these stories where people are not, intoxicated, or they're telling these stories like maybe they're on some blue or purple pills, or they're taking Quaaludes, whatever it is. They're doing crack cocaine. I don't know what the deal is, but it's amazing. It's amazing. But listen, we can't knock him. He did his work. He spied on these military personnel. I mean, kudos for him. He got close enough to listen to the madness. And he waited 62 years before his memory totally failed in order to give us this story. The rest of the article has been linked in the description so you can check it out yourselves. There's more to this story. But at the end of the day, it's hard to really confirm who the hell it was he was listening to because he didn't get any names. And I'm sure that their names were probably right on their chest somewhere if they were in uniform. So listen, don't forget to follow UFO Buster Radio on Instagram at Manny Moonraker, Facebook, the pages Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. Join UBR Truth Seekers and talk the shit. And lastly, UFO Buster Radio on Twitter. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to go in and vote. And if you do anything else this week, keep your eyes to the sky. Reject all the rubber dickers. And live long and prosper. Ciao.